What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. And first things first, shout out to the comments section. There's always so much good information there. I love the conversations that get created, the ideas that get thrown around in all football games. It is excellent. And there's one particular comment that just made me realize, what would you characterize UFL as? Because I was looking back, these are the daily grind episodes I was posting when I was only playing UFL. FC was still around, but this was pre-patch era and I was not going to play a broken game. I didn't care if they had all the bells and whistles, and overall FC was a better product because I was 100% behind UFL since it was a skill-based football game. I could deal with like some of the glitchy animations and the fact that there weren't any other modes and things like that, and I sort of created this daily grind, created an outlet for players to have something else besides just playing divisions over and over and over. And that was my whole goal. Not to mention, it helped me connect with the community and really start throwing around different ways that this game could be great. Now, I know that recently with the way the game's gone, it's been negative, but that's to no fault of any players, right? I know I can sense that sometimes there's players that don't like my negativity towards UFL, but I'm just being honest. All of my positivity towards the game, I want that back. It absolutely is a lot more fun and makes for a lot more content when the game is going well. I don't like the fact that we have to constantly make negative videos on UFL, but look at all the different socials. Look at the way the game is. I mean, I am just reacting like a player, like any other player. The game is terrible right now. However, there is a chance that it could create its own identity. And that's where this comment really helped me start thinking outside the box for UFL. And the comment I'm referring to was talking about how FC is an arcade game, how eFootball is a simulator, and they talked about they're enjoying UFL. But there is no characterization under UFL. So what was that commenter insinuating? Was he just trying to say UFL is the only football game? Because right now I could not argue that that is true. But I could argue it is definitely not as arcade feeling if you want to characterize the very fast pace, what some call ping pong passing. If you want to characterize that like an arcade game because it gives you that almost old school NFL Blitz or FIFA Street type of feel to the game when it's that fast moving. So I can understand that, and UFL definitely isn't that fast paced. I could see also how he says that eFootball is a simulator because it is very AI based. It is all about the different skill sets your players have, choosing the different AI runs, the right pass to make based on AI runs. It is a simulator in a lot of ways because you are not manually, changing things, changing run directions, like making players do certain moves to beat defenders. You are using the AI-based system for that player, the AI-based runs, the AI-based moves, what that player is good at based on, the AI animations. So I totally get the simulator part for eFootball as well. Now, UFL, this is where they could go into their own direction. And that is also why I feel I was so confident in the game early on, because even though it wasn't as polished, let's say, as FC, it was very skill oriented. Everything movement wise with the players was manual, meaning like defending, even if you ran up to an AI defender, right, and that defender, everything but running into the AI defender, you would still beat him. You literally had to manually change to the player, then make the tackle. In the attack, that's where you could either have a challenge if your opponent was good at defending, or have a field day if they were bad at defending and you could just carve them up. Now, that is also where if you were playing another skill-based player, tactics came into play. Because if you were good at defending, they were good at defending. You were good at attacking, they were good at attacking. What was going to be the difference maker? Many times it came down to your tactical setup. That is where UFL could absolutely be separated as far as the category it is in from FC and eFootball. You don't use any AI simulation, right? You don't make it all fast-paced so it's arcade-like. You simply make it entirely manual. The player has to control everything. And now you have a true football simulator where everything done inside the game is based on the skill, the quality of that player. Now, I am fully aware that UFL started making decisions away from this to more benefit casual players. Maybe you have an offline mode or a separate mode with more AI assistance for those type of players. But if you truly want to gain the interest of the hardcores, you want more content creators to make content around your game, right? That's who I'm talking about with hardcores. Players who play this game nonstop. No one's going to play the games more than what? Content creators. Then players like myself watch these content creators, and when I watch different football games, I want to go play those football games. Again, that's why I created this series you're seeing now, because all we had in UFL was divisions, and it gave us something else besides just playing divisions to stay involved with UFL in, right? You could watch these highlights from the game, but then these discussions on what could be added, what could be changed, our ideas for the future. So you could make this game its own category, and then you're going to have a ton of videos on the different tactics that different players are using, right? The different tips and tricks to manually defend, to beat a good manual defender. That's where I feel UFL could truly create its own lane. Will they do that? I don't know, because if they want to keep the casual players who aren't as skilled, maybe they feel like they'll lose them. But guess what? Even if you didn't play football, even if you're not good at manual defending off the bat, you can absolutely learn it. It doesn't mean they have to make it super complicated. It just means that you get rewarded for being able to switch to a defender and move that defender into a passing lane, or make the right decision defending, not dive in, right? Jockey when you need to jockey. Commit to tackles when you need to commit to tackles. Choosing the right tactics to beat different players in their tactical setup. Being able to make a system where you can change during the game and have different sub tactics to swap out in case you have maybe a stalemate going on because your two styles are clashing, right? It just made me think. EFC, if you want to characterize as an arcade game, okay, let them be kings of the arcade football game. If you want to characterize eFootball as a simulator, let them be the kings of the eFootball simulators. But a true player skill-based football game, we are absolutely missing that. Either one of those games are totally manual. Now, FC went towards that, but that arcade feel, right, that super fast-paced feel, keeps it from being a true football simulator. So that is where UFL can step in, because it is definitely more, UFL is definitely more FC-like than eFootball-like, if you will. So if they went that route where they differentiated themselves by going more manual, keeping the pace true to actual football, they could be the closest to a true life football simulator. True to life, I should say, football simulator. So just an idea. Let me know if that makes any sense to you. Let me know what you think about that. Would that work? Would that not? Would it chase too many casual players away? I just feel like the more separate UFL makes itself from these other two football games, the more likely they're going to get their own following going. Not to mention, they could steal some players doing something like I mentioned, right? That is something that even without all the bells and whistles, they could still have over FC. So let me know what you think, and keep grinding, keep having fun. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.